Someone told you that you have a focus problem. You jump between ideas too much, they said. You can't stick to one thing, they said. Scattered, inconsistent, undisciplined. That's you. What if that is the biggest lie you believed? Nobody tells you the truth about this. The most powerful minds in history had this too. They jumped, they wandered, they couldn't stay still, and the world ended up calling them geniuses. So before you try to fix yourself, stop. What if there is actually nothing to fix? There was one man who had this worse than anyone. History would call him the greatest genius ever. But in his own time, people thought he was a mess. His name was Leonardo da Vinci. He could never finish anything on time. He would start a painting, then abandon it completely. Then he'd disappear into studying a human shoulder. Then he'd sketch flying machines out of nowhere. Then vanish into studying the flow of water. Painting, engineering, anatomy, architecture, music, all at once. Sometimes he switched interests within the same week. His patrons were frustrated. His peers were confused. From the outside, it looked like total chaos. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary was happening. When Leonardo painted a face, it was different. He didn't just paint what he saw outside. He painted from the inside out, from anatomy. Hundreds of hours dissecting bodies made his art alive. His inventions were centuries ahead because of art. He thought like an artist, not an engineer, obsessed with how a bird's wing curves naturally. That obsession became aerodynamics before the word existed. Every interest fed every single other interest. Every new skill made the next one stronger. He wasn't scattered. He was building something unrepeatable, and Leonardo was not the only one. Meet Benjamin Franklin, printer, writer, scientist, diplomat. He wore a different identity in every decade. In one decade, he was a printer and writer. In another, he was America's most famous scientist. He discovered electricity, not as a trained physicist. He asked questions specialists had stopped asking long ago, because he approached science the way writers do. Then he walked into the royal courts of France. He didn't just bring political arguments with him, he brought wit, charm, scientific fame, and words. France backed the revolution largely because of him. None of that works if he stayed in one lane. His skills didn't just add up, they multiplied. We've been taught to think in a straight line, go deep, specialize, master one thing only. And they're not entirely wrong. Depth matters greatly, but here's what they never show on that chart. When two strong skills meet inside one person, something strange and unexpected happens between them. They don't add like numbers. They collide like elements. And sometimes, something completely new gets created. A scientist who can write? The world listens now. A programmer who understands psychology? Products feel human. A designer who understands business? Beautiful things sell. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore. It equals something nobody else can copy from you, because nobody else is the same combination as you. This is what it means to be M-shaped, not T-shaped. One skill with thin general knowledge, but M-shaped, multiple strong skills connected intentionally. 2 or 3 real peaks, not one, multiple. And the space between those peaks, that's the power. That territory where nobody else is standing yet. Because everybody else was busy staying in their lane. The world produces more specialists every single year, but the biggest problems don't live in single lanes. They live exactly at the intersection of things. And that intersection, that's exactly where you were built to stand. But I have to be honest with you right now. This idea has a shadow side, a real one. Curiosity without direction is just consumption, nothing more. And consumption without creation is comfortable staying stuck, jumping from course to course, book to book, idea to idea. Always learning, never building, producing almost nothing. The excitement of something new is absolutely real, but excitement alone has never built a single thing. At some point, you must go deep enough that knowledge becomes an actual skill, deep enough that skill becomes genuinely useful to others, deep enough that useful eventually becomes rare. So the move isn't to jump randomly forever. The move is to choose deliberately and carefully. Pick 2 or 3 interests that genuinely pull you. Not what you think you should love, the ones you keep quietly coming back to always. Go deep enough in each to do real work. Then look for the places where they actually touch. That intersection, your specific, weird, personal combination. That is your advantage, your real, actual advantage. Nobody else can compete with you there, because nobody else is the exact same combination as you. Leonardo da Vinci was not lost. He was building something the world had no name for. Benjamin Franklin was not distracted. He was building something only he could build. They refused to be just one thing, completely. and that refusal changed everything around them forever. Maybe you've spent your life feeling like a problem, like your curiosity is something you need to apologize for. Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're just early. The combination you've been quietly building all along, the one that fits no job title or category. Maybe that is exactly what the next chapter needs. The future doesn't belong to people who know one thing. It belongs to people who can connect different things, who can adapt when the world shifts unexpectedly beneath them, who can create things that didn't exist before now. That was Leonardo. That was Franklin. And maybe, just maybe, that is you too. Now, I want to ask you one real question, and I genuinely want you to answer below. What are your 2 or 3 interests that don't match? The combination that makes people tilt their heads confused, the one you've maybe been a little embarrassed about. Write it in the comments. I'll actually read them, because I have a feeling about these combinations. The most unusual ones might be the most powerful, and I genuinely want to see what you're building. You were never distracted, you were never broken, you were simply building something the world couldn't name yet. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't lost, he was early. Benjamin Franklin wasn't distracted, he was early. And maybe you are too. Your curiosity is not your weakness, it is your greatest, most underestimated strength. Now go build the thing only you can build. The world has been waiting for it longer than you know.